Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Yesterday, Mikela Spielberg, the biracial black daughter of critically acclaimed director Steven Spielberg, announced that she's coming out as a porn star. And your Mikela Spielberg says she is getting ready to try to enter the adult film industry and is also trying to work on getting her license as an exotic dancer. Now, when I take a critical examination of your Mikela Spielberg, it looks like she's trying to head down the same road that Montana Fishburne walked many years ago. Because over a decade ago, your Montana Fishburne, the daughter of Lawrence Fishburne, thought that she could take the porn industry to the fast track to advancing her career in the entertainment industry. Unfortunately, no one told Montana Fishburne, like no one's telling Mikela Spielberg, that the porn industry is not a fast track to Hollywood, nor is it a gateway to a fast track to a career in Hollywood. And the reason why is because the porn industry is completely separate from Hollywood, and the credentials you get in the porn industry will not get you any opportunities in Hollywood at all. And your Mikela Spielberg, just like your Montana Fishburne, probably thinks that because she is going to come out here and talk about how she's going to be a part of the porn industry, it's going to generate controversy, because here is the daughter of a critically acclaimed director like Steven Spielberg, known for making films like E.T., The Color Purple, and many other films like Schindler's List, that if they see her name on the film box of the video, that this is going to lead to her getting other opportunities. Unfortunately, all it's going to do is it'll get her attention in the short term, but like Montana Fishburne before her, she will become irrelevant in the long term, because you're like Montana Fishburne. I think that your Mikela Spielberg thinks that she can follow down the road because Kim Kardashian used a sex tape to elevate herself to a career in the entertainment industry. But what your Mikela Spielberg, like Montana Fishburne before her, doesn't understand is that Hollywood has two worlds, one world for black actors and one world for white actors. And your black actors are not seen on the same level as white actors. When a white woman goes out here and participates in a sex tape, it is not seen as something nasty. It is seen as something as raunchy. And again, the white woman, because she is elevated in society to a higher position, she can get away with participating in sex tapes the same way Kim Kardashian and Pamela Anderson got away with participating in sex tapes, and they took no damage to their careers. But a black woman is judged by a completely different standard, and your Mikela Spielberg doesn't understand how black she is and how she is judged by the black standard. Because under the black standard, the sex tape is not seen as something titillating or something controversial. It's just seen as par for the course as related to black women. Because most of these men in white supremacist America, they see black women not as something as controversial when they go out here and participate in adult films. No, they see that as par for the course because of the Jezebel stereotype, which has been perpetuated throughout American history, and even internationally. The black woman is seen as a Jezebel and is seen as sexually promiscuous. So seeing a black woman talking about how she wants to come out as a porn star does not have the same impact as it does with a white woman. So when Kim Kardashian comes out here with a sex tape, or Pamela Anderson comes out here with a sex tape, yes, it is controversial, yes, it is titillating, but because those white females have white privilege, they don't feel any damage when they go out here and participate in these pornographic films. Well, in fact, it elevates their status, and they can use that to advance themselves in the short term, But your black woman, this does not help her at all in the short term or the long term, because most of society has been brainwashed to believe that your black woman is a Jezebel, your black woman is sexually promiscuous, and that this type of behavior is par for the course for your black female. But your Mikela Spielberg, like Montana Fishburne before her, did not get the memo on white supremacy and racism as related to black female sexuality, and she's thinking that coming out as a porn star is going to help her advance her career. Unfortunately, she's going to have to learn the hard way about the porn industry and how it does not help women advance their careers. In fact, all it does is lead to many women winding up going nowhere, because most women who enter the porn industry oftentimes find out how hard the work is in the porn industry, because it is not just people having sex for 4 or 5 minutes or 10 minutes like people think by watching these porn videos. Oftentimes these shoots go on for hours, and oftentimes these shoots have cuts and recuts, and they shoot different frames of different scenes. So a average porn shoot may take anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. This is something your Mikela Spielberg hasn't really thought about, because like many others, they think that porn is something that is just a standard, normal sex act. No, porn sex acts are staged, porn sex acts are choreographed, porn sex acts are not real. But your Mikela Spielberg is walking in like Montana Fishburne, thinking this is going to be a fast, easy way to advance herself, not understanding what she's getting in, and not understanding why Montana Fishburne soon got out of the porn industry, because she found out that it wasn't a fast track to move yourself forward. In fact, it's a road to nowhere, and many of the women who enter the porn industry, they find that out, and they are out in less than a year, because the only way to stay participating in these numerous sexual acts is to wind up taking drugs to make yourself be disconnected from your body while you're participating in these sexual acts, because that's the only way you can do this, because again, women are emotional, and when they go out here and have sex with these different men, it winds up messing up with their emotional state, and that's why they have to take drugs and alcohol, so that they can be out of their minds, so that these men can participate in these sexual acts that are being perpetrated on their bodies. And this is all stuff your Mikela Spielberg has not really thought about, because most 23-year-olds, they are only thinking about the now and not thinking about the long-term damage that this type of stuff does to people. Now, your Mikela Spielberg, she says she's a sexual creature, but she really, as I see it, doesn't really understand what sex or sexuality is all about, because she doesn't understand how she is actually degrading herself and leading to herself being exploited, because that's what the porn industry does. It exploits people, it uses people, and then once they finish using a person, like they did Montana Fishburne, they quickly turn people over, because they know that there are more young, gullible females out there getting off the Greyhound bus on 7th Street at the bus station, and they can find more females to go out here and work in the porn industry, because they all think that the porn industry is some sort of fast track to Hollywood, but it's not a fast track to Hollywood, and in fact is not even that much money anymore, because most people in the porn industry, they don't make much money doing adult films, because your adult films, they only pay maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a scene, and the only way to really make any money is by going out here and exotic dancing, and even exotic dancing doesn't pay that much anymore. Usually a lot of these adult entertainers make their money primarily through several revenue streams, whether it be adult films, whether it be exotic dancing, or whether it be live stream cam girl, but still, they just don't make that much money anymore because the adult industry has, because of things like these websites like Pornhub and many of these other websites out here, the revenue stream is not what it was in the 1980s and 1990s when the adult film industry was primarily home video. But your Mikela Spielberg, she's thinking again that this is going to be something that's going to move her career forward, but it's again a fast track to nowhere. And sadly, your Mikela Spielberg learned nothing from the tragic story of Montana Fishburne, a young black girl who learned the hard way about the porn industry. As Chippy D, she wound up leaving the porn industry just a year or two after she made her debut. But what she didn't, and then she said that the whole industry was sucky, but the whole thing was, had she had real guidance from her father and support from her father, she wouldn't have gone into that industry. And what's really most troubling is that your Steven Spielberg has no problem with his daughter entering this porn industry. In fact, he says he supports her, and that really has me shaking my head, because no father who truly loves his daughter is going to go out here and say he supports his daughter participating in the adult film industry or the adult entertainment industry as a porn star, because he would understand that this is his daughter, this is his blood, and the whole thing is he does not want to see his daughter in this industry, because he understands that this is not only a bad reflection on him, but it's his daughter not understanding her value as a woman. Because when you have young girls who enter the porn industry, what happens is it's like saying that you have failed as a parent, because your daughter does not understand her value as a woman, her worth as a woman, and that you putting your body out there for everybody to see, that you have low self-worth and low self-esteem because you're looking for the attention and approval of men, and you're looking for the attention and approval of men just so that they can get a look at you, but they're not looking at the content of your character. And that's the sad part that Mikela Spielberg hasn't learned, is that these people who look at strippers, they're not there to see them as people. They're just there to see their bodies, and they're just there to just use them like a dish rag, and then once they finish using them, they toss them to the side. So they don't see you as a person, they just see you as a way to get their sexual release. And again, that's not what any father would want his daughter to be seen as, and that's not what any father who loves his daughter would want his daughter coming out, because you wouldn't want your daughter talking about she's some sort of sexual creature to be seen and ogled by a group of sexual deviants. No, you would want your daughter to be somebody who could be seen as somebody who deserves love, somebody who deserves respect, and somebody who reflects as someone who shows the best of you. When you have a daughter out here who's talking about she's a sexual creature and is out to participate in debauchery and sexual deviancy, that's not something any father who truly loves his child would go out here and support, because that's just not something that is normal. I mean, normal people don't want their daughters to be a part of the porn industry, nor do they want their daughters out here being used, because that's what women are in the porn industry. They're used and then they're just tossed like toilet paper, and they get some more off the Greyhound bus on 7th Street, use them, then toss them, and they make it look like, oh, these women are doing so well. But again, a lot of those women come out of that industry and they find out after having to work those long hours doing these movies and doing these strip shows and doing these cam shows, that they aren't really, they're really messed up mentally, because it really works on your mind. And a lot of times people have to take drugs and alcohol in order to escape all of the perverted and deviant things they're doing on camera. And that's how they are able to go out here and perform, is because they are taking those drugs. And what they also don't tell you about the porn industry is that there's a high suicide rate, because those who don't leave the porn industry after having to deal with all of the traumas that they've experienced and the mental health issues, a lot of those people wind up committing suicide because they have to think about all of the deviant acts they have participated in on camera and all of the deviant behavior they have participated in. So a lot for Mikela Spielberg, she's just thinking, again, this is going to be some fast track to fame that's going to get her attention. But sadly, again, like, she has not learned the lesson from Montana Fishburne, and she hasn't learned that this is not an industry people go in because they want to. No, people go into the porn industry because they are desperate. They go into the porn industry because a lot of times they were strippers, or they were already coming from hard lives, and they go in because they are trying to get some fast money, because a lot of porn stars, again, they have drug and alcohol issues. And again, this is not an industry any rational, critical thinking person would want to go into, because it is not a fast track to Hollywood. It is a fast track to nowhere, and in some cases, it is a fast track to the grave. If you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up my books featuring positive images of young women, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, A Recipe for Success, the Thetas, and the Spinsterella trilogy, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com, where you can pick up all of those books featuring positive images of young black women in paperback and Kindle format. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.